Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Jack Stocken's Improver class, and a warm welcome to anyone who will be tuning in via replay. I hope you've all had a really fabulous start to the new year and ready for a lot of bridge, because it's going to be a fabulous lesson this morning. And we look like we've got a very big class and lots of new people, which is fantastic too. So without further ado, I'll welcome your teacher down to the class. So here we go.
Morning.
You're back in your normal abode.
Yes. Got back from Zermatt on Saturday afternoon from the ski bridge holiday. We all had a good time. Very lucky with the weather, Franny. We had 6 days of blue sky and sunshine.
Oh yes, and good flights. Good.
Yes,
good
flew directly back from Geneva to Leeds, which is only about half an hour from where I live. So that was all good. And yes, I'm around for the next 6 weeks or so before my next mystery location on the 7th of March.
That seems. You do seem to have a lot of holidays, don't you, Jack?
Well, put the word working in front of that if you don't mind.
Yeah, true.
Working holidays. You don't need to feel too sorry for me.
No, I did forget to mention that if anyone has any tech issues, they just need to use the help, click here for support above us, or just use the login email and just come back with that. So it's a big class and it's going to be a really fabulous lesson. I can't wait for that. So I'll see you on the other side and enjoy.
Yes, thanks, Franny. See you a little bit later.
Pleasure. Bye.
Bye for now. Well, welcome to the class, everyone. And it's a very useful lesson this morning. Well, aren't they all useful? But this one particularly, quite a hard lesson, I'd say, quite tricky for improvers to know whether a bit is forcing or not. And there is another, this is forcing or non-forcing part one. We do have a part two as well at a later date because it's such a big topic. But welcome to all those watching in replay as well. Let's get going. But it is a tricky lesson. If you're finding it quite tough, it's a good one for the replay. Obviously, downloading the worksheet and either keeping it digitally or keeping it in a folder is a good idea. I know quite a lot of you will. There are two types of bid in bridge, really. You've got forcing bids, and within that, you've got forcing for one round, which means partner must bid again at least once. And you've got some bids, of course, that are forcing to gain. And then on the other side of the coin, that's one side of the coin, look. There's the other. You've got non-forcing bids. They're bids we must pass in bridge sometimes. And then there are invitational bids, where we either pass or raise to gain. So it's a big topic, but let's have a look. So first things first, I've opened two clubs, which I think you all know is 23. And by the way, this lesson, if there are any beginners watching from October, it's probably quite a tough lesson for you. I know you tuned in last week for the combined lesson, but this will be a tough lesson for those who've only been learning bridge since last October. So two club openers, you all know is 23 plus. Any shape, yeah, just a point count. You've responded 2 diamonds because that's the waiting bid. You can never pass 2 clubs. Partner may not have a club in their hand. It's artificial. Partner's come back 2 hearts. So over to you now as responder. What would you bid now, if anything, with your nil point? What would you do if you're watching in replay? Answers just started to come in. So far, we've had 2 no trump and 2 spades. Got to work out really for yourself if 2 clubs is a forcing bid. Whether it's forcing for one round or whether it's forcing to gain. Very good. Answers flooding in. I'm impressed, actually. I'll just give you a chance for one or two more to catch up in the chat box. But yes, well done. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? Answer 2 spades. 2 clubs is game forcing, all right? You can only ever pass in one situation, and this isn't now. Now, when partner comes back 2 hearts, it's forcing to game. They're showing a 5-card suit. So I would actually bid 2 spades here. I don't mind 2 no trump second negative, but I prefer 2 spades just to show a 5-card suit. Yeah, whenever you bid over 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, it promises a 5-card suit. Don't mind 2 no trump as a second negative. At least you're bidding something. But the problem is you don't really want to be playing no trumps. You'd rather that North did. So the lead comes up to them. But 2 spades there. Well done if you said that. Pass, only a few of you said pass. No, you have to keep going, even if you've got a Yarborough. And this hand is a Yarborough, by the way. You can Google what a Yarborough is, but well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a hand with no card higher than a 9. So 10s aren't allowed. And there is the famous story about Lord Yarborough, but you can Google that one. I think I've told you that story about why it's called a Yarborough. Good. Well, that's a good start. The large majority of you were bidding, which is the main thing. That's the full hand, you see. Partner repeats hearts to show 6, and you raise to 4 hearts. So you've got no points, but partner's literally got a 3-loser hand. They don't need anything from you whatsoever. That's why it's important to keep going to the bitter end. Good. Let's go straight into our first hand on BBO. It's one I prepared earlier. Yes, 23 points. What would you open on that? Sorry, Ellie, I don't understand your question. What would partner have bid there, Jack? The 2 hands were both bidding. Oh, well, they did. They bid 3 hearts, Ellie. If you look back, they bid 3 hearts to show 6. 2 clubs, of course, I'll alert it. And North, don't worry. Do we bid anything with that? Nil point. It's a Yarborough. Always, I think, definitely for improvers and some intermediates, big hands are difficult to bid because you just don't have the experience of bidding hands. Big hands don't come up very often. You do need to have the experience of playing for a long time to deal with them. Two spades, no need to jump or anything funny. And North, what next for them, if anything? Well, I think we know now from the previous slide that we must keep going, and we bid to 4 spades. For the more experienced members of the class, this is a weaker bid than 3 spades. Yeah, on the principle of fast arrival, known as PFA. So when you're in a game forcing situation, if you jump straight to game, that shows weakness. So 3 spades shows a stronger hand, typically 4 points or more, but 4 spades here is a shutout. Partner, that's it. I don't want to go any further. But that's for the more experienced members of the class. Principle of fast arrival. Very good. Well, now is the planning stage. I hope you thank partner for the dummy. Robots get offended. They do have feelings too if you don't thank them. They've been programmed to, say thank you. Right, so have you made your plan? Are you going to draw trumps? Or are you going to do something else? Yes, counting losers, Eta, that's a good thing to do. Potentially as many as 3 or even 4, maybe. So what card do we play at trick 2? Having won with the ace of diamonds. Well, if you're watching in replay, what would you do? Would you draw trumps here? The main time not to draw trumps is when you can create a void in dummy. So you look for a suit that is longer in your own hand, declarers, than dummy. And here we've got longer hearts. So definitely right. Well done for creating the void. And what card does East play back? Sorry, West. Well, if in doubt, trump about. And when you're a defender and you think the declarer is trying to create a void, it's mostly right to return a trump, to try and take the trumps off the table. And the trump can be a very good lead as well, an opening lead, as you well know. So well done for returning trump. We come back another heart. Another trump is played back. And crucially, this is basically, everyone, going to be our 10th trick, roughing the heart in dummy. So I hope you all appreciate that. It is sometimes overlooked by improvers, this roughing in dummy. Come back to hand. We've done the hard work now. Just give up a trump. And the rest are ours. So we'll claim those last few. Winning trumps, winning king of clubs. There we go. Only easy when you know how. But don't worry about losing a trick or two early on in bridge. If you're going to lose a trick, lose it early. Right, quite a lot to get through today, so we'll go back to the classroom. Forcing or non-forcing, well, the basic principle in bridge, as you know already, is change of suit is forcing. If I open a club and you bid one heart, I have to bid again. But if any player repeats their own suit at any level, then this is non-forcing as a principle. Maybe one exception. So this auction here, I've opened one heart. You've bid 2 clubs, longest suit at lowest level. Promising 10 or more points, by the way, when you bid a new suit at the 2 level. I've come back 2 diamonds. What's your best bid now as South? So thinking to yourself, there's 2 questions which I've been talking to the beginners about recently. Have we got a fit? Can we tick that box? And then can we go for game? Can we tick that box? Well, we've definitely got a fit because I'm showing you 5 hearts and 4 diamonds. So you do need to support the hearts, but to what level? 2 hearts, 3 hearts, or 4 hearts? You've got a few seconds to change your mind. Those watching in replay, what's your rebid here? 2 hearts, 3 hearts, or 4 hearts? Three hearts shows 10 to 12 points here. Just like if I opened a heart and you jump to 3 hearts to show 10 to 12 points and 4 cards. So this shows 10 to 12 points and precisely 3 cards in hearts. You can't have 4 because you'd have supported hearts straight away. That is a forcing bid, the important thing. That 2 diamond bid is 12. Actually, it's 12 to 18, actually. There's a slight typo there. With 19, you probably would make a jump shift. No, not true, Katrine. You might have had 9 points and 5 clubs, rule of 14. South might have had 8 points and 6 clubs. Not necessarily guaranteeing 10 points as South. Remember, they might just have rule of 14. It's important for the class. They might have 9 points and a 5-card club suit, or could have 8 points and a 6-card club suit. Suit preferences when you're weaker, Lisa and Den, 6 to 9 points. That's a different topic, really. That's when you often don't have a fit. Okay, let's move on. Okay, I've opened a heart. You bid 1 spade. 2 clubs by me. What next for you, if anything, with your 6 points? Katrine, your partner will not go wild if you bid 3 hearts. No. It's a limit bid showing 10 to 12. If you had a stronger hand, you'd have bid 4 hearts. Your partner might need some bridge lessons. I can think of a place where she might go. Two diamonds would show a strong hand here. By the way, for those of you who play the convention full suit forcing, 2 diamonds would be 12 plus points. But even if you weren't, it would show a strong hand with a 5 and a 4. Do you think there's any chance of game here with 6 points? It's quite a tricky lesson, this, mainly because improvers and quite a few intermediates, do find it difficult to know if a bid is forcing or not. But actually, this is 95% forcing. Partner could have up to 18 points here. 12 to 18. With 19, they'd have bid 3 clubs forcing to game. So, but with singleton in partner's first suit, you're best off passing here. Game is so unlikely. So well done if you pass. I don't like the bid of 2 diamonds here. That's going to get the bidding far too high. Pass. Okay, here's another one. 1 heart. You've bid 1 spade to show your 4-card major. Not 1 no trump, of course. And I've jumped to 3 hearts. What next for you with your 6 points, if anything? Yes, that's right, Anne. North's bidding is not a reverse, by the way, Anne, on that previous hand. No, that's not a reverse. A reverse was when it forces you above the barrier. So just to be clear, Anne, the previous slide was not a reverse. Reversing is difficult anyway. I don't teach reverses. They're only really for more experienced partnerships. Yes, this is a non-forcing bid. Shows 16 points or more, but you can pass. And with a minimum 6 points. Good. Well done. Let's go on to hand 2. On BBO. And it's a 1 club opener. What's North's bid with 6 points there? Is it? Must bid with 6 points, of course, but is it one heart or one spade? Well, it's cheapest of fours, one heart. And South, what's their rebid with? 16 points. Morning, Ita from Ireland. Kathy, Pauline. TJ's with us, Louise. Hamish, Anita, Jill, Sally AD. I think Sally AD is coming on one of our bridge holidays, aren't you, Sally AD, or one of our Millstream weekends? Anthony certainly has in the past. Lisa and Den, one of our double acts. Got any more double acts this morning, or just Lisa and Den? Tony, good morning. Philippa, Kathy, Mary D, Penn, Katrine, who joined us a month or two ago. They're all bidding 3 clubs, and guess what? They're all right. Anything more from North? Pauline C, good morning. Phil H, my sometimes tennis partner here in Harrogate. A bit cold and damp for tennis, really, Phil H. A bit fair weather. I was playing paddle last night at 7 o'clock in the evening on an outside court. Jill's passing. Yes, you're all passing, Ellie. Yeah. Claudine. That's it. Pam. Opening lead. What would you lead against that motley collection? Nothing obvious, is there? What's the opening lead? Yes, I'm with you for the next 6 weeks. What have we got for you? Oh, we've got practicing for those who are rusty at 11 o'clock this morning for the beginners. Well, they're beginners stroke improvers now. We've got practicing the 2 important bidding rules. So that's the 5-4 rule and repeating showing 6 cards. Well, I would lead one of the unbid suits, spades or diamonds. And I do much prefer, morning Louise, Anita, I much prefer a diamond. Quite dangerous to lead from 3 to the queen. I wouldn't rarely do it. I try not to avoid it. So we go with a middle up down diamond. Well done if you chose that one. A few of you did. Quite a few of you did. Yeah. Actually, Ellie, I don't mind one no trump so much at playing duplicate from South. I wouldn't go 2 no trump, but I don't mind so much a 1 no trump rebid with those lovely clubs. Right, so middle up down, 7 of diamonds, good lead. Which one do we play from dummy? Grey and damp here in Harrogate. Your weather report, I think rain is definitely on the cards. No, Elizabeth, mud is whether you got 3, 4 or 5 cards. There's no upper limit. Yeah. Elizabeth has learned something this morning, and hopefully others have as well. You don't lead mud, though, from an honour card. You lead low for like if you have an honour card. I'm actually going second player play low here. Yeah. Try and force out the king or the queen. And which one should third player play, king or queen here? Which is technically right. Morning, Claudine. Say hi to Patrick for me. I think we're seeing you next, oh, sorry, this September, the end of September, for our Cyprus Bridge holiday. Yes, cheaper of touching honours for third player, which is the queen. And win with the ace. Now what do we do next? Well, it's a good hand to count losers on. You know I like to count losers. Probably 1 or 2 clubs, a heart, a diamond. Which card do we play next, sir? Trick 2. Is there any way? Here's a clue for you. I will bring out the Get Out of Jail Free because I like using it. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? Haven't played Junior Monopoly for a couple of years. Is there a way to get rid of that 9 of hearts loser, do you think? Because we've got a definite heart loser. The opponents are probably going to switch to hearts quite soon. Can you see a way that it might disappear? There is the clue. Well done. If you played a diamond without any prompting. I tend to play the higher one. They switch to a heart, but we rise with the ace. Over to the king of ace of spades. And there's our diamond winner, look. We've established it before they've managed to switch to hearts. So that was a really good move, that. Look. 9 of hearts goes bye-byes. So well done. That was a fairly advanced move there. So don't be sad if you didn't find that play. I think it's quite difficult. More intermediate than improver. Phil H likes it. Rather like your serve and volley, Phil H. Neat. Right, now we should get on with the trumps. And we get the bad news. The 4-0 trump break. They would probably try and cash their king of hearts. But we rough it. Cash the queen of clubs. Cash the king of spades. And we will have to give up a couple of trump tricks. But the rest will be ours. Just play them out. We are going to make 3 clubs. You know, despite the 4-0 trump break. 110 would be a great score there. Key play, yes, setting up that diamond winner early doors and discarding the 9 of hearts. We had to do that. That was a tricky play to make. Let's go back to the class room. What's happening in the classroom? This is happening. I've opened a heart. You've bid a spade. And I've jumped to 3 diamonds. What is going on here? Over to you. Yes, you could tell me first of all is how forcing you think that bid is. Non-forcing or forcing? Forcing to game. The experienced players in the class, wide range of experience in our improvers, of course, just like an intermediate class. But how forcing is it? Yes, next week we are having a review, because we haven't had one of those for a long time. But a very useful lesson on Monday for you, Responders First Bid. That's the 26th of January, Monday at 9:30. Definitely most of you, if not all of you, could come to that lesson for Responders First Bid. It's a relatively easy one for the intermediates. Next Monday. Yes, it is 100% forcing. Look. So we bid 3 no trump with a club stopper there. Yeah, so it's known as the jump shift, everyone. When opener jumps in a new suit, it shows 19 plus points in his game forcing. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's useful. 2 diamonds here, you see, would show up to and including 18 points. But 19 points, you need to force to game, knowing your partner's got 6 points. Good? No, your partner hasn't got any spades, Nina. Good morning, Nina. Are you new, by the way? No, we're happy to be in 3 no trump there. Open 1 heart with all of these hands, and after 1 spade response, you would jump shift to 3 diamonds. All very good hands, and that is game forcing in any type of bridge you play, jumping in a new suit. Good. Let's play hand 3 on BBA. Right. 20 points. Well, what would you open with that 20-point hand? Yeah, so lots to look forward to in the coming weeks. Let's just see what we have got to look forward to. Hang on. I can tell you what's coming up in the next few weeks. Where are we? Wednesday improvers. Yes, we've got signals and discards. We've got the rule of 11 playing no trumps. We've got the losing trick count, responding to weak threes. The 2 club open review, discarding a certain loser. Yeah. And then a bit further on, further use of double in the unassuming cubit. So a lot of interesting lessons for you. Yes, just 1 heart. Definitely wouldn't want to open 2 no trumps or anything like that. And North's rebid with 20 points. Well done. We have talked about this jump shift this morning. Be new for some of you. What next for South now, if anything? So that's the jump shift, yeah, 19 plus. Quite rare. Can't remember the last time I did, actually. So it is 100% forcing. But rather than go 3 no trumps, which is what nearly all of you are doing, we have only got 1 stopper in clubs. It may not be our best game. So actually, the best bid here is 3 hearts, just showing a preference. We're in a game forcing situation, so that just shows a preference for a false preference for hearts, really. Doesn't necessarily have to be 3. But it does give partner another bid, you see. Now, what does North bid now? Gives partner another bid under the 3 no trump level. 3 no trumps is a bit of a shutout. Partner wouldn't have bid again. And it wouldn't have been our best contract. What does North do now, though, apart from panic? Remember that South has bid 1 spade back in the day. So they can now show their 3-card sport for spades. There's no rush in this auction, you see. The beauty of a game-forcing auction is that there's no rush. You can take things nice and slowly, which is what we're doing, to get to the best contract. And South? No, the 1 spade bid only shows 4 cards, Anita. Good question, though. And now South can bid 4 spades. And you've arrived in by far the best game contract. 3 no trumps wouldn't have made. No, partner's only showing 5 and 4, Katrine, when they open a heart and rebid 3 diamonds. If they would have repeated 3 hearts, then yes, or 4 hearts, then that would show 6. But no, just 5, 4, 3, 1. Sure, you're all going to lead a top of sequence jack of clubs. So we have arrived in our best game contract. 3 no trumps would have gone down. as would 4 hearts. Okay, so I'm just deciding whether to draw trumps or not. I've made that decision. Good. What card do we play back at? Do we play at trick 2 then? Was a tricky auction, Jill. I don't think many, I don't think that many club players would have got to 4 spades. They'd have ended up in 3-no trump going down. So you're not alone. Well, remember, the main time we don't draw trumps is when we can create the void. The void's actually been kind of created for us. Back to hand with a diamond. We can rough another club in the dummy. Okay. What next from the dummy, do you think? But yes, it is I'll say it again, it is a tough lesson, forcing or non-forcing. We've got the sequel to come in a month or two's time. We do give you a bit of a break before you get the sequel. Most sequels take 6 months or a year, don't they, on the cinema? But it is a tough lesson. We might as well cash the ace of spades. And then we can kind of cash our winners, really, can't we? Ace, king of hearts. Ace of diamonds. I think I'd rough a heart now. They can take their winning trumps, which is what they would probably do. But luckily we've got a trump left. And a diamond winner at the end. So that is 4 spades made. Well done. Trumping couple of clubs was the key there, really. But tricky contract to get to. I don't think many club players would have got to 4 spades there. 3-no trumps or 4 hearts, 1 down. Do you alert jump shifts, Katrine? Good question. No, because they're natural bids. Yeah. You don't need to alert weak jump over calls. You don't need to alert weak 3 openers. Yes, luckily, Claudine, I was at the helm, so I managed to steer you home. Right. And if spades had been 3-2, we'd have made an over trick. Let's go back to the classroom. Okay. And because they bid 3 spades, they showed 3 card support by bidding 3 spades there. So they knew they had a 5-3 fit. Right, moving on. What's happening here? Well, you've opened a diamond. I've gone 1 spade. You've repeated your diamonds. And I've gone 2 hearts. What type of bid is this? It's a natural bid, but how forcing is it, do you think? Choose from non-forcing, forcing for 1 round, i.e. I've got to bid again, or game forcing. But it is showing a 5 and a 4. Okay, that's important. North has got 5 spades and 4 hearts. Take your pick, have a wild guess if you're not sure. Yes, it's certainly January and February are very good months for learning bridge and playing bridge as well. I think today there might be some bridge on, actually. We're going to try and get some of the beginners to BBO at 12 o'clock. So try and log in at 12 o'clock this morning. Maybe give our beginners a bit of a hand. And when you start a table, make sure you put LBO on it, just so they know. You can put LBO improver as the description of the table. Well, would you like to show? Yes, it is forcing one round. Good. We've established that. You have to bid again. Change of suit by partner is forcing for one round. But what's our best bid here? At South now. 2 spades, 3 diamonds, 2 no trump, 3 no trump. What do you think? Phil H is having a guess. What's the most useful bid you can make here? And your partner's bid is showing 10 or more points, by the way. That North, and if they only had 9 points, they'd pass. So that North hand has got 10 plus. Partner could pass 2 no trump, by the way. I will just mention that. Morning, Brian. Morning, Jill. I think I've said most of my good mornings. Don't be upset if I miss you off the list. You could go 2 no trump or 3 no trump here. What do you think? That North has a minimum of 10 though. If they only had 9 points, they'd leave you in 2 diamonds, knowing that game was not going to happen. Lizzie H, good morning. Kathy. Yes, actually. Oh, 2 no trump. Actually, I probably would have been 3 no trumps, actually. But there's the answer, 2 no trump. But actually, I think in reality, I'd have been 3 no trump with a good 14 points. It's lovely diamond suit, isn't it? But well done if you went 2 no trumps there. Showing your club, which would guarantee a club stopper, of course. Good. And that's the full slide. And you get to a lovely, well, I say lovely, yeah, it is a lovely contract. Good. So let's move on. Here we go. We've got the 2 club opener again. You've dutifully gone 2 diamonds. Partners come back 2 no trump. Over to you as responder. So lots of bridge lessons to look forward to. You have a choice of 3 lessons actually as improvers. You've got the beginners at 11 o'clock this morning, so brush up if you're rusty, and the intermediates on Mondays at 9:30, which most of you could come to anyway. There's not a huge difference between improver and intermediate. Although on the intermediate, we do learn the more complicated conventions, like Roman key card Blackwood, Jacoby 2 no trumps, Landy, splinter bidding. It's at 11 o'clock, Anita. The beginners, yeah. Beginners stroke improvers now. They've been learning for nearly 4 months. It's non-forcing. So with 0 or 1 point, you pass. Yeah. Claudine, you're right. It's the only time. This is the only time when you open 2 clubs that you can pass with 0 or 1. Have you ever tried playing 2 no trump when your partner's got no points? It's not nice. Okay. You've opened a spade with your 7-card suit. 2 hearts from North, showing 5 cards, by the way, of the major. I think we've discussed that recently. Major at the bidding up major at the 2 level as responder shows 5 cards or more. 2 spades by you, of course. Partner's gone 3 diamonds. What next for you, if anything, as opener? And what type of forcingness is it? Yes, it is. It is definitely forcing. Yeah, has to be. Any weak hand would pass. But is it game forcing or just forcing for 1 round? Just 3 spades will do, but I like to teach and play, when I play bridge, the new suit at the 3 level is game forcing, because you're up to a high level. As I say, with a weaker hand, North would pass or rebid 2 no trump to show 10 to 12. So 3 diamonds here showing 5 hearts and 4 diamonds, game forcing. But we can just go 3 spades. There's no rush. Yeah, 12 high card points, Hamish, or more, yeah. A hand that wants to be in game. But that is a good thing to discuss with your partner. I would definitely say that new suit at the 3 level is game forcing by opener or responder. It's a sound bidding principle. It will sometimes mean, by the way, that as opener, you'll have to repeat a 5-card suit at the 2 level. Yeah, rather than bid a new suit at the 3 level. Yes, that's absolutely fine. Partner will understand that sometimes the auction is cramped. So repeating a suit doesn't always show 6. So you should assume 6, but sometimes partner will have 5. So here we go. Here's an example of a game forcing bid. Let's just see what would happen if opener was weaker than that. So, with a minimum 12 points, South does best here to bid 2 spades. Okay, quite a tricky one that. It might take you just a little while to get your head around it. Of course, you can read the worksheet, the notes. There's 2 practice hands as well to play on BBO, which are available to download from the classroom page, which is where everything happens. But I'd definitely bid 2 spades there. Partner might only have 9 or 10 points, you see, for their 2-heart bid. Good, that'll be a new thing for some of you definitely today, this morning. Let's play. We've still got a bit more time. And that's a jump, Hamish. Yes, a jump shift is 19 plus. So 1 heart, 1 spade, 3 clubs is the jump shift 19. It can be confusing. That's why this is a hard lesson. Definitely one of our harder ones. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in the improvers we have medium kind of difficulty, easier, and harder. This for the improvers would be a harder one. Just so you know. I think you probably know that by now. Yes, are you 2 hearts or 1 no trump on the north hand? Definitely 2 hearts. Yeah, passes rule of 14. Yeah, good. 9 points and a 5-card suit. Yeah, 10 points in each are all rule of 14. So it could be 9 points and a 5-card suit. What's South's rebid here with 12 points now? 1 no trump doesn't deny a 4-card major fill when you've opened 1 spade, just to be clear. Yeah, because you haven't got the space to bid 1 heart. What are you on the south hand? Are you 2 spades or 3 diamonds? Take your pick. Well, if you're watching in replay, are you 2 spades or 3 diamonds? Well, I think we've discussed it quite recently in the classroom. Much rather bid 2 spades here than a game forcing 3 diamonds. And North, anything more for them? Definite pass. Yeah, we're going nowhere fast. Top of sequence, Jack of clubs lead. Okay, so thank you, partner, for the dummy. Just deciding whether to draw trumps or not. For the moment, though, second player play low. We know that East has the ace of clubs. Because West would never lead away from an ace in a trump contract, especially with me in charge of their opening lead. And now, third player East, do they play a low club or the ace? What do you think for East, third player? Yeah, to play the ace would be wasteful here. It would make both the king and the queen of clubs winners. So mildly encouraging 6 there. Yeah, if you play the ace of clubs, both the king and the queen are winners. So better to wait to clobber the king of clubs with the ace. Now, what card do we play from Declarer at trick 2? Lizzie H says, keep the ace to kill the king. That's a good one, Lizzie, yes. If not a bit harsh. Right, which card do we play now, do you think? We'd like to, here's the clue. We'd like to get to dummy quite soon to draw trumps. What would you play if you're watching in replay? Diamond or heart? Can't be right to play a spade or a club here. But actually the best play is top of double to 9 of hearts. No point covering. And which one from the dummy? Morning, Pam. I think I've said hello to Pam. Well, just let it run. To the ace. They would switch to a diamond. Top of a doubleton. And again, no point West rising with the ace here would give us 2 tricks. Right, what next from the dummy? Remember, we've lost to the ace of hearts, so we know that West has the queen of hearts. But what next from the dummy? And the slightly harder hands today as well, which go with the topic, you know. Harder hands go with a harder lesson. But it's good for you to be challenged. We had a relatively easy lesson last week on length and force. Good attendance from the beginners stroke improvers last week for the combined lesson in Zermatt. Yes, now we can take the spade finesse. Good. Back with a heart. Which one from the dummy? Things are going well for us so far. Heart finesse has worked. Spade finesse has worked. Jack or 10, yeah. I tend to play the higher one. Easier for me to remember that it's gone. Good. And what next from the dummy? Here's the clue. Ooh, I'm going to bring the get out of jail free card out again, just because I like using it. This is your last time in dummy. You're not going to be able to get back to dummy again. Is there something we should do before taking the spade finesse? You can change your mind. Yes, I will talk a little bit at the end. I don't like to do it during the classroom, just about our bridge holidays, because all of you in this class could come on a bridge holiday or weekend now. I won't conflict with the teaching. Yes, King of Hearts is cashed, and the club can go away. Now we take another spade finesse to the knave. Cash the ace of spades. Slightly disappointed they're not 3-3. And get off lead with a diamond. Club comes back, which we rough. Gets off lead with another diamond. Cash their ace of diamonds now. And they've got their king of spades to make at the end. But we have made 8 tricks. Wow, that was hard work. 3 no trump look would have been an absolute disaster on 21 combined points. So we got out very early in the bidding there with 2 spades, yeah. Good, just back to the classroom. What do you bid with this one, if anything? 1 heart double by North. That's your partner, me. No bid for me, so over to you as South. It's a really useful lesson, this one, Pauline C, for the students, historically. Maybe go over it this afternoon. You might want to wait till tomorrow morning. Give it a day's rest, I don't know. Yes, we have to bid 1 spade. Just before we finish on that side, if you had 4 hearts there and just 3 spades, yeah, you'd still have to bid 1 spade, by the way, with a 3-card suit. You will get that every now and again. So if you'd have had 4 hearts there and 3 spades only, you would still bid 1 spade with only 3. I have seen that happen. Right, this is for the more experienced. Yeah, the North will normally have 4 spades there, Anita, yes. Yes. Is North's 3 spade forcing? And what do we bid with our 10 points? So a couple of questions there. Just to finish off. As I say, in half an hour's time, we've got practicing the 2 basic bidding rules with the beginner stroke improver class. Yes, this is forcing, showing 16 plus, so we must bid 4 spades, yeah. Good. That's the full slide. Partner goes to 6. They've actually had 22 points. But it was game forcing after South's 2 club bid promising 10 points, or the equivalent. This is the one exception, Jill. Well done, Jill. She thought repeating suit was non-forcing. I think I did say that earlier. There is one exception, and this would be it. Only because South's bid 2 clubs, you see, showing 10 points. Okay, so if you remember just 3 things today. A 2-club open is forcing to game, unless their rebid is 2 no trumps, in which case you can pass. Secondly, a new suit at the 3 level from opener or responder should be forcing to game. A good bidding principle. And finally, only jumpers open a new suit if you've got 19 or more points. Yeah, quite a lot of improvers and intermediates jump with 17, 18 in a new suit. No, it's 19 plus. Richard, I'll look forward to seeing you in 30 minutes' time.
Right, well, that was a pretty good lesson. A lot to digest there, Jack.
Well, I sometimes call these lessons the power hour. Franny. This was definitely, I think, a power hour today. A lot of information in there.
Yeah, you can always have another look on replay. That's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Yes, totally. They've got the replay. They've got the notes to download. And yes, and also, we have a wide range of experience in our 2 classes. So obviously, for the more experienced, this would be a good consolidation. Less experienced, they've got a fair bit to to get their heads around.
Okay, well, that's
just thought I'd talk briefly. Well, I've talked about what we're doing next week. So a week's time, we are having a review, going back over the last 5-6 weeks. Question and answer, which is always useful. Half an hour's time, we've got the 2 important bidding rules we're looking at.
Yep.
And Monday, Franny, with the intermediates at 9:30, it's responders' first bid.
I made a note of that.
Yeah, so that's a really useful one. Richard wants to know about bridge weekends. So I just thought I'd talk briefly at the end of the class, Franny, about my bridge holidays.
Yes.
Because everyone in this class now would be bridge standard would be suitable to come on one of our friendly improver bridge holidays. So we've got these 4 weekends at the Millstream Hotel. Bookings will start in a week or 2's time. I'm just going to type in our website, just where all the bridge holidays and weekends live. Oops, hang on. Is that correct? Andrew Robson, bridgeholidays.co.uk. There we go. You don't need a partner, Ita, no. We always have about 10 or 12 people looking for bridge partners, friendly bridge partners. So there's 4 weekends at this Millstream Hotel, 3 of which are in November. Bookings will start in a week or 2's time. So they're in Bosham, near Chichester. We've got Jersey, which is fully booked in April. That's a midweek break. Sandbanks is fully booked in May. That's a midweek break. But we do have spaces on our 2 weeks in the summer holiday, which is to Cyprus, the 5-star Hotel Annabelle. There are a few spaces left on both of those weeks. So, yeah, it would be great to see some of... I quite often meet some of our online students on weekends or bridge holidays, Fran. It's always nice.
Yeah, lovely.
Face to face.
And also, I think it gives people a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, our bridge holidays and weekends are fun. It's more like a holiday with bridge rather than a bridge holiday. November, Anita, it's in the Millstream Hotel. It's all on our website. It's a charming sailing village called Bosham, next to the sea. It's like a airport's Richard. Yes, you might struggle with an airport to get down there. Come with me on the train, Richard. I take the train to London then. But it is quite it's a slightly awkward journey from up north to get down to Chichester. Oh, it's near Hamish, yeah. Think about it, Hamish. The website's there. Anita, where are we? Ita, andrewrobsonbridgeholidays.co.uk. And we do take day people's pen, yes? Yes? Hang on, I'm just going to put the website in again. 1 or 2 of you missed it. Whoops, hello. Hang on, I'm just trying to get the website. There it is. Yeah. They're called the Andrew Robson Bridge Holidays, Ita, but I run them. Any other questions? Yes, Pen, we do take day pupils. I think it's about £195 for a day pupil. You just come for the bridge and you can pay for dinner if you like as an optional. Yes, bookings will start late January, Hamish, but send me an email if you're interested in our bridge holidays, and I'll add you to the database. I'll just put in my email, Franny. Jack.
Okay.
Hang on. Jack at yorkshirebridge.com. And I'll add you to any of you to the database. Jack at Yorkshire for Holidays. There we go. Yes, and then you'll be on our list.
And it's good that you don't have to have a partner, so they...
Yeah, no, we're very friendly, so we always guarantee a partner. We tend to mix them around a bit when they're there. Richard says many ops to join in the UK. Not so much, Richard, just the 3 weekends in November, really. The other two are booked in Jersey and Sandbanks in Dorset. Right, well, Franny, it's 10:35.
So I'll say goodbye and till next week or Monday, because there's a really fabulous class that everyone can join on Monday too, isn't there?
Yes, they can all join that one on Responders First Bit. It'll be useful and relevant to anyone in this classroom. Not too hard either. But otherwise, Franny, I'm going to put the kettle on because we're meeting up again in 24 minutes, aren't we?
We are. All right. We'll say goodbye to everybody.
Yep. I'll say goodbye.
Okay.
Bye, Jack's mum.
Bye all.